Hi again with another thought. You know what has been going on in the United States for the past many years, but or you can say many centuries, but decades and now years, months. It's crazy. It's scary. It's sickening, and um, I mean, it's unbelievable. And the scary part is that what the administration has been doing to its own citizens, and let alone abroad, but its own citizens, is something that is, I would say, in the recent American history, it's unprecedented, right? Dragging people out of their homes and beating up people and shooting at people, its own citizens, and it has created a lot of fear, um, and in some places more than in other places, but it is spreading, and people are concerned and worried for their loved ones. Of course, particularly in the area or on the issue of immigration. And we have been seeing for the past few days or weeks what has unfolded in Minnesota. And it's just, I mean, in my lifetime here in the United States for the past 13 years, I haven't seen this kind of insanity. It's out of control. And I think it's shocking to many Americans. But as someone was born and raised in another place, I mean, to excuse me, to those of my friends who know, of course, in Pakistan, but I don't know who will watch this video. But I was born and raised in Pakistan, and I think for me, the worry, and for many like me, the worry also is what this will transpire in non-democracies, in authoritarian and autocratic regimes and dictatorships. Not that the United States in the past was any um, angel, political angel, or some sort of a benevolent force for good, although there was, I think, some sort of inspiration in a democracy that the U.S. was for some time, probably in the second half of the 20th century. I mean, never fully a democracy for a lot of people who were oppressed, such as black people, people of color, but nevertheless a place where people could live in relative freedom and safety, and um, with freedom of speech and expression and so on. And but that seems to be again dwindling and being um, uh, destroyed, right, by the current administration. And what it is also doing is emboldening the autocratic, authoritarian, non-democratic regimes and dictatorships in the developing world, particularly in the Middle East, in my country of origin, Pakistan, and many other places, right? As we say in Pashto, what Trump is doing, what his administration is doing at home, is every day of that is seen as Eid, or to put it in Christian terms, Christmas. This is Christmas for Pakistani rulers. This is Christmas for or Eid, whatever makes sense to you, for dictators, for autocrats, for authoritarian leaders. It emboldens them. Um, I mean, and it is common sense, right, for them to see this being unfolded in the way in which it has on the streets of the United States, once a democracy where people enjoyed the First Amendment or the Second Amendment, which I believe the Second Amendment, right, the right to free speech. Um, don't quote me on it, although I also cannot stop this video and check it. But, anyways, the Free Speech Amendment, right? So that is that there was a greater belief and confidence in that. I mean, I can tell you from my experience as someone, as an immigrant in 2013, 14, 15, I was waiting for my green card and my immigration papers to be settled. And I had at that time more uh, confidence and more faith in American democracy and institutions. Today I have green card. I have lost confidence and faith in democracy and institutions. Although, I mean, it's good to have whatever is still there, but this was also not to make the situation um, extremely look um, extremely hopeless. But I mean, it is becoming hopeless, right? Like, I think, if anything, it's good to be hopeless. Well, not hopeless, but it is good to see it as almost destroyed than to say, "Oh no, there are still things." Yeah, there are, but it's good to be more alert than to be not. Uh, as a, I don't know, as a tactic or as a strategy. But to come back, I think, to the point that I wanted to make was that what is unfolding, what has been unfolding, or what is happening in the United States has repercussions for the populations of autocratic, theocratic, dictatorial, non democratic regimes. I mean, the irony is that Trump wanted to send force and support to the Iranians, but he's beating up his own people, is killing his own people. And there is no accountability, there is no uh, due process, there is nothing. It's literally like running a country like a thug, and has his own private, at this point, militia or like force, which is going around in the streets masked and beating up people. And the irony is astounding, right? To then help the people of Iran, where, of course, the state is even more than a thug. It's, you know, they are. Um, I'm not a fan of the Iranian regime. The theocrats who have made life miserable for its own people. But this kind of behavior will only be emboldened, especially with, the U.S. coming out of the UN, or cutting a huge part of its funding, and from the World Health Organization, and so much more. And that makes the future for not only the people of the US, but also for many, many other populations, particularly in non democracies, much more dark and oppressive and miserable and almost hopeless. Um, and I don't see, I'm not in the business of predictions, but I don't see any really um, something like, I don't see anything to hold on to. This is, of course, there are things, good things happening here and there. I think I really like the speech of the Canadian Prime Minister at Davos. the World Economic Forum. There is Iran. There are things happening in here and there, but I think on the whole the picture seems very bleak. And I don't know. We have yet to see what unfolds in the months, years to come, but it's not good. And I'll see you again. I just wanted to share this thought. Have a wonderful day, and it's snowing outside. It's crazy. Bye.